Bonjour, kiwatase makwa doram. My name means spirits all around, and I am Bear Clan. My English name is R.D. Curtis. The first time I got drunk was in elementary school with my cousins in Zeba. We bought a bunch of beer and I got really sick. I didn't like it. The cops came and we got into trouble. I was really scared. Graham shook her head and said she was disappointed. That bothered me. I started smoking marijuana before 8th grade and drinking in the 9th grade. I quit school in the 11th grade and moved in with my dad. Drinking progressed and I even drank with him. When I was 16, we both went into treatment at New Day. I went to AA and listened to everybody. They lost their families, jobs, and freedom. I didn't lose anything. I took off and bounced around and finally moved in with Graham. I went to jail when I was 18 for assaulting my dad. As soon as I got out, I started drinking heavily. I terrified Graham during a blackout. And during the next one, I woke up to bars. Graham didn't want anything to do with me. I needed treatment and started immediately at New Day. Who knew, walking out of the elevator, I would meet the future mother of my boys, Helen. After treatment, I stayed clean for almost 2 weeks. I didn't listen to my counselor. I gave in to peer pressure. I didn't want to be labeled as stuck up or too good. I kept on drinking, got my head sliced, and almost lost my life. I entered treatment a 3rd time. I took off again, moved to Kansas, and eventually moved back to Michigan, and hooked up with Helen. She got pregnant, and we got married. My son Ty was born 2 days before I completed treatment the 4th time. I stayed sober for 2 months, but then started drinking heavily. I regret putting Helen through mental, verbal, and physical abuse. We split. She took off for school, and I left for treatment. Again. Helen's car pulled up to the grocery store. I was buying alcohol with a buddy, and she saw us. My son Ty started waving at me from the front seat. I ignored them. A couple days later, Helen told me Ty was so happy to see me, and because I didn't acknowledge him, he was heartbroken. I was tired of being sick and tired. I was homeless, jobless, familyless, and in and out of jail many times. I was a chronic alcoholic and a drug abuser. My heart was broken too. I wanted Ty to have a good father. Even though I was doing it for him, I knew I needed to do it for myself first. I went into treatment for the 6th time at Reentry Halfway House in Kingsford, Michigan, and completed 8 months. At New Day, I saw Mike Jensen for aftercare outpatient treatment and eventually started working there with Mike's help for 3 years. I really liked working at New Day because helping other people reminded me of the way I used to be. After I sobered up, I started fishing, hunting, and getting into the traditional ways. 10 years later, I started drumming. I was around good people and I felt good, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. In 2003, I started working at the KBIC SAP outpatient department. Within 2 years, I became a certified alcohol counselor. I am helping my community and I attend AA meetings regularly. I have a 2nd son, Robert, who was born on March 2nd, 2006. Addictions don't discriminate. They don't care about your age, race, or gender. But there is hope. If you put half the zeal into your recovery as you did your drinking, life will be good, one day at a time.